What is Inner Circle?
All right, so Inner Circle is our elite coaching program. It's virtual for men and men alone. Everybody's doing something for women. There's always women empowerment, women this, and it has become obvious that the gap between men and women have actually widened because there has been so much female empowerment, girl child this, and all that. So, and of course, these women at the end of the day are stuck with these men. And I just feel we need to, it's high time, and everybody agrees that we need to pay more attention to men. So I saw this large gap in my dealing with men individually. I saw this large gap keep widening, and I felt it's good to bring all these men into a room, a virtual room, and get experienced and successful men to help coach them, mold them, prepare them for the world they are going into. Nobody tells a man what it means to be a man. He just figures it out. And by the time he figures this out, his life is almost over. By the time he's figuring it out. And most times it's too late. So that's what we decided to do in Inner Circle Elite Coaching. I want to take some men on a journey for a full year. For a full year. With other amazing coaches. You see the lineup. It's incredible lineup. Like I said, this is the biggest and most extensive male coaching program, all right, ever, because it covers a wide area and the quality of men, and it's lasting for a full year. So that is what Inner Circle coaching is about.
So what else does it cover?
Oh, so the beauty of this, like I said, is the most extensive. I really don't know why any man will want to miss this. I don't know why any man want to miss this. It covers 10 major areas that affects a man. All right, it covers 10 major areas that affect a man. Number one, it covers faith, a man's faith. Most men, whether traditional or religious, have the notion or agree that, oh, the man is the head of the family, the man is the head. And I ask them, who voted you or, appointed you head of family? It's a scriptural principle. God ordained the man to be the head of the home. And I tell this man, how can you function as the head of the home when you're not in touch with the person that appointed you? So the first area we're going to deal with is our faith in terms of our spiritual walk. And it's going to be phenomenal. We're going to study the whole Bible in this 1 year. Many men have never read the Bible cover to cover. You can't claim to be the head of the home and you're appointed by God and then you don't know about God. So most men they think it's a cultural title. They think it's a social construct. No, it's a spiritual, deep, is rooted in the spiritual, ordination of God to make you as the man, as the head of the home. So there's no way you can ever be effective as head of the home without being in touch and in a good relationship with God. You need to know what the person that appointed you expects you to actually do in that position as the head of the home. So the first area we cover is our faith. So all these men that join, if they are committed to it, they're going to, for once, be able to say they read the Bible cover to cover, because we're going to study the Bible, or at least read the Bible for a whole year, cover to cover. Then we're going to talk about everything that has to do with their spiritual life, their prayer life, how to understand God's word, how to hear the voice of God. Some of the speakers are going to actually lead us in prayer. Again, I couldn't even mention all the people that would be featuring here. People like Feladoto, he mentioned, he did a pre-session with us, and he shared how that in many difficult cases, how God spoke to him, and we saw the testimonials was amazing. And he's also one of the men that's going to lead prayer. Because all the men in the group were saying, oh, tell us how you pray. So he's going to lead us. People like Dosi Oyeko is going to lead the men in understanding how men should worship. Because, people think men are stiff and all that. But when you see people like Dosi and the rest, how they worship, how they are free in God's presence. So these men are going to come into the room and lead other men in worship. So again, I don't know why anybody want to miss this. Any man want to miss this. And if you're a woman watching me, go and register for your husband. If you drag him into this, he will totally revolutionize his life. So the first area we're dealing with is faith, our spiritual walk. We have other great men of God as well that will come and teach and share, what it means to be a Christian man before you now become a husband man. You must always be a Christian man. So we're going to talk about that faith. Another area it covers is family. They are all F's. So the first one is faith. Second one is family. Again, one of the things I see happen to men is that they win in one area and they lose in the remaining 9 areas, because there are 10 areas we're talking about here. So many men are okay with their finances, or they keep focusing on making money, but you discover that family life, having a good marriage, being the kind of husband your wife admires. I can tell you for free, being a marriage counselor for close to 30 years, very few men are enjoying their marriage, and very few men have wives that actually admire them as a husband. I can tell you that for free. So I would guess anywhere around 20%, of men are the ones that can say they have a great family life, and their wives can attest to it, or their wives admire. It's because as men, we're generally focusing on career, work, and we're not building that home front, that love relationship. I actually have a lot of men that hate women, a lot of men that hate marriage, a lot of men that are divorced or whatever, and they have sworn they will never remarry. It's just because nobody guided them or held their hands.
So why is faith one of the core things to be taught here?
Because everything rises and falls on faith. Our relationship with God is crucial. That kind of lays the foundation for whatever a man will do and whatever he will be.
And then for family, what of men that maybe don't want to get married?
The reason why a man will want to get married is that he has been hurt badly, or he doesn't see the benefit. And there's so much benefit to get married. You know one of the first things God said about men or to mankind? He says it's not good for man to be alone. How do you argue with the maker? If Steve Jobs, imagine he was still alive, or whoever Tom Cook or whoever the new guy is, says, oh, this phone is not good to work this way, I don't see anybody arguing with that guy. He's the maker of the product. Now, God, the creator of man, says, look, I've finished this product, but the way it's designed is that it can't work alone. Then the product is arguing with the maker. So that's what I see everywhere. You don't know, for God to say it's not good for man to be alone, he knows that the way you were created, you will function better with a woman specifically. He said it, I will make him a helpmeet. So women generally have characteristics that men need. So when they both come together, if you're a man that you're not married, I don't know how far you've gone, but it's like you're running on one leg. You might be running fast and fine, but trust me, you will do better with 2 legs, And I tell those men, by the time your life is ending, that's when you realize that you don't have a legacy, you don't have a family. Even if you have children without parents, you find out family life is what builds societies. That's just how it works. That's always been so. It will always be so. And all kinds of statistics proves this to be so.
Okay, so for fatherhood, what of men that are maybe not physically with their children? How does this apply to them?
So this is what we're going to do. It's to cover everything. In those classes, if you are a distant father, if you are a father, or maybe you're not more with the wife, or you never married the woman, we're going to share with you how to be in your children's life. Things you can still do to mentor them. There's so much. There are times I'm in my house, maybe I'm going to fix my car, or I'm going somewhere, and my wife will just hint me and say things like, take your son with you. Oh, Daddy, I wouldn't have thought of that. She said, no, take your son with you. And I'll take the guy, and the guy will enjoy the trip so much because he enjoys that bonding time. He enjoys being with his dad. So there are things, generally, as a man, you might be overlooking. But we'll give you basic things you can do on a daily basis. They are simple. Things like praying for your kids every day before they go to school, or every week before they start school. It's a practice in my own house every day. Where I bless them, I pray for them. So there are things we'll show you that are easy you can do, but they will bond you and connect you to your kids forever. Many men at their elderly age, they feel abandoned. The mothers are going for what they call omugo in my country. They're going with the kids, but the dad is abandoned because he never connected with his kids. He was just a financier, a sponsor. So it covers every aspect of fatherhood.
Then for finance, can men really scale, for like career men, would you really scale in their career?
Yes, everybody can scale. Everybody can scale. Everybody can move from being a hunter, like I said, to a shepherd. What's the difference between a hunter and a shepherd? A hunter, every time a hunter needs to eat, he has to go out. But for a shepherd, it gets to the stage where sheep reproduce sheep. So he can actually be sleeping, and the sheep are mating and reproducing. So we'll talk about things like that. So exactly what you raised. Oh, I'm a career person, so is there any chance? Well, we're bringing some heavy career people that will show you how to leverage what you have and where you are so that you don't work for the rest of your life. Or let me say this way, you don't work because you have to work. You work because you want to work, and there are two different things. All right? When some people are working because they really cannot stop, and their life will just end one day. But you have to plan. There has to be a plan for your future. So we're going to delve into that as well.
Okay, so for the man that is very busy and is thinking, where do I fit in fitness into my busy schedule? What happened?
Yeah, so that's why we are bringing the experts. The experts themselves are even busy people. But there are simple things you can do in terms of maybe your diet, your routine, sleep, basic things you can shift about yourself that will add more years to your life. Long life is not a myth. There's a reason why men die, faster than women. There's a reason. So cushioning some of those things with wise counsel, you will just see that you can prolong your active years. Because some men, they live long, but they've died 40 years before they died because they are not active. You see, your body, I remember a preacher said something. He said, God gave me a message and gave me a horse. He said, I have not finished delivering the message, but my horse is dead. He was talking about his body. So you can have a good mission and message to the world, but if your body is dead or your body gives up, the message is over. It doesn't matter where you have stopped.
For fulfillment, men being like emotionally balanced, the average man just feels, this is a women thing. I don't need to.
Fulfillment here is talking more about purpose. Okay. There's something everybody's created to do. Everybody has purpose. And you will never feel really fulfilled until you find purpose and do purpose. So that's what we're going to help people find. There's something. Again, we're going to do your personality mapping. We're going to do a lot of things that will help you find there's something you were sent on the earth to do. And we're going to help you separate your career and your calling. Some people are blessed enough to have their career be their calling. Some other people, their career is different from their calling. But you see, you will never be fulfilled until you find your calling. That's how it works. I could be selling shoes. I could be doing anything. But one of the things I know for sure is my calling is helping people, especially in terms of bringing them to a new level of understanding. I mean, there was one day I was on a plane. An elderly woman wanted to use the bathroom on the plane. She didn't know, because those doors are somehow on the plane. So if you're not used to it, you don't know how to open it. So she didn't know where the bathroom was. And I stood up and showed her how to open the bathroom door on the plane. I felt like they gave me $1 million because she was so happy. She was so relieved. I felt, so that's what fulfillment does. Nobody paid me. There was no crowd there. It wasn't a crowd. It was just one elderly woman. But it felt like I won $1 million. These are things that make some people live long and some people live, miserable. So it's not just about, like they say, it's not hard work that kills. It's wrong work. You see, if you are working and you're not getting the returns, you die faster. But when you're working and you are seeing, you are doing what you're created to do, oh man, you are energized as opposed to being, weakened.
So for friendship, the average man is thinking, right now, I don't have time to invest in friendship. Where do I create that time?
Yes, you meet other men like you that are busy. So you see, it's not about talking every day, but it's about having critical connections. Like I said, I flew into a different, and it happens all the time. There's no country I'll fly into that I won't see someone that will connect or make life easy for us. And I tell men, when we're going to teach about networking, you don't build network when you need it. Most people want to build friendships when they need it. No, you build it before you need it. They say, when do you build a bridge? Before you need it. You don't build a bridge when you want to cross. So that's what human beings are like, bridges. They help you go from one point to another. So being in a same room with a lot of intelligent and productive and successful men, that is a network you don't want to miss. Trust me, these are men you will need. One day you will need something in their field or their area of expertise, and you already have a basis of relationship. So it's not going to be that we're going to talk every day, no, but vital connections that you will need one day.
Freedom, you mentioned addiction. What of addictions that are part of coping with life stress?
Yes, so those are the things we're going to get into. The experts will deal with those things. So every addiction has a root cause. There's something missing. There's something you're trying to feel before you go into those things. So we'll help deal with how to replace, those abusive material substances with other things that can get you the same result. So yes, and trust me, freedom is sweet when you're not in bondage to any substance or to anything like that. It's a very useful thing.
Then for faithfulness, you mentioned character. What of a society where it's hard to thrive when you try to do things the right way?
Yes, so that is why people need to be strengthened, because the more we all succumb to that, this we can't. A society can't live if it's not morally standing. It just can't survive. Most great civilizations is part of what make them break down. Once they started confusing gender, confusing sexuality, confusing marriage, once they just started going down that path, the civilization just fizzles out. Eventually, they stop being a world power. And the statistics and history is there to show it. So we need more and more men of character. Like I said, every society is built on the back of men. That's why we see all what's going on in society today. There's a father that dropped the ball. When you see a boy that couldn't finish school, couldn't become what he should be, he's a drug dealer or whatever, there's a father somewhere that dropped the ball, and it continues like that. So men are the like the pinnacle of society, and we need to get them to understand the place of integrity, the place of character, and how the ripple effect. Children won't do what you say; they will do what they see. And if the fathers can understand that, then they will live to a higher standard, and that helps society as a whole.
So for future, for that man that is thinking, I've made some mistakes, can I really leave a good legacy?
That is the beauty of it. Anybody can, from wherever you are now, you can start to restructure your life, especially with good mentoring, good friendships. You can start to restructure your life and make something out of it. As men, we just focus so much on money and finances. Like I said, I have so many men that are struggling in this area, divorced, and have sworn they will never remarry. They've sworn that women are evil, and all that. It's just because nobody held their hand, nobody guided them. Marriage is one of the major scorecards, family life. It's one of the major scorecards of your life at the end of your life. And many men build big businesses, build big companies, but they've lost it in family life. In fact, I was telling someone that it seems the higher you rise in career, the more likely your marriage will fail. And, as at like 7 years ago or thereabout, 9 out of the 10 richest men in the world were divorced. 9 out of 10 of the richest men in the world were divorced. That is a really, really bad statistics, And why is this so? Because men are generally one-way minded. They are focus-minded. So when they focus on career and business, they kind of drop the ball in their family life and marriage. So we're going to do a lot of things in terms of how to make them good husbands, good family men, in that regard. Yeah. Sorry, on this part, you're going to be quiet. So number 3, one of the third things we're going to focus on is fatherhood. Fatherhood. I am in the middle of this one. Nobody, or let me say most times, most men are not really guided on how to be a father. They just wing it. They just think as long as I'm providing, I'm paying the rent, I'm paying your school fees, I'm being a good father. Now, that is definitely a component of being a good and responsible father, but that is not all it's about. There are things to do to be good fathers. And I've done interviews many times with kids of successful men, either in ministry or in business. And one of the things they all would have craved for is more time with their dad. And most times the dads are busy slaying dragons, as they say, building big corporations. Again, you don't have to lose on one because you're building one. So we're bringing experts to teach us on fatherhood. Basic things you can do. You don't have to stop working, but basic things you can do with your kids that will impact them for the rest of your life. So most men are never guided in terms of fatherhood. I can attest to that there's not so much information or mentoring in that regard for many men. They're just winging it. They just think I'm paying the children's school fees. You can actually structure to a great extent, what happens in your children's life. Then the next one is finance. This one, all men like this one. And listen to me, guys. If you are still working for money, you are not yet where you should be. Part of what we're going to do with you, again, we're bringing a lot of finance and business experts. You see people like Cosmos Maduka is going to be there. Some other, Lumide Emmanuel, Dikbo. There are a lot of experts that are going to come on for finance. But I know men like finance. And listen, guys, I agree with you that for a man in particular, a lot of your esteem comes from your career and your financial status. I cannot deny that as a man. I can tell you for free that a lot of things in your life is tied to how much you are able to provide for yourself and for those around you. So we're going to take a deep dive into financial matters. I know most men are broken when they're broke. I know that one. Most men are broken when they're broke. And I'm here to prove to you and to show you that you can prosper financially. We're going to bring great people. You see the lineup. We're going to talk about your finances. All right. I said if you're still working for money, that's not where you should be. If every time you need to earn, you have to work, then you are broke, because you can't go on vacations. The day you are sick, the business is sick. The day you rest, the business also rests. You must be able to get to the stage where money works for you, where you can earn an income. So we are bringing people like Vuzi. If you know, Vuzi is the king of scaling in business. Look, like again, I can't still make sense of anybody not attending this, any man. I mean, it's either your maths is not good or there's something wrong with your decision making, because this quality of men coming in the room, it's like somebody offering you a property worth $100,000 for you to pay $1,000. Any excuse you come up with is wrong. It means your maths is not good, your sense of judgment is not good. If you are being offered something worth $100,000, and this coaching is worth more than that, and they're asking you to pay just $1,000, the right answer is, I will take the offer. That's the right, there's no other right answer. Because, you know, all these men are going to come on to help you learn how to scale your business, learn how to move from being a hunter to a shepherd. You know, what does that mean? For a hunter needs to work every time he eats. And that's where most men are. If every time you make money, you have to work, you are broke. All right? There are about 6 stages of money. There is poor, all right? And I can't go into details. There's poor, there's broke, there's average, and there's rich, and there's wealthy. All right? So we're here to set you on the right path financially. So, hey, I'm excited about the financial one. We have loads and loads of great people that are going to come and teach business, teach finance, teach management, and things like that. Then we have the next one is fitness. Fitness. Of course, we all know many men don't take their health seriously. That one is an established fact. Every time I spoke to a doctor recently, he said, when they do something for women, because he does a lot of charity and free stuff, when they do things for women, oh, women and children, everybody's there. When they do men health, nobody's there. The men don't want to come out. And they are trying to deny the fact. Listen, if you're going to live long and you're going to live well, health is important. And we are bringing a lot of health experts, all right? People like our Proco doctor, most of you should know him. I have Reverend Tunde Akiem. He's an expert in natural health. So we're bringing a lot of people. Then they have the fitness guys in terms of basic exercises you can do in your office space, in a busy person. So we're going to focus on your fitness, because if you're going to live well, if you're going to live long, it covers every area. Sexual fitness. I talk to men that are dealing with erectile dysfunction, ED, and a lot of other things. Look, most men at the end of their lives find out that they feel unfulfilled. They feel they've labored and worked, and you know, nothing much have come out of it. There's something called fulfillment. It's part of what we're going to focus on. We're going to help you when we talk about setting your goals, because what we do in our circles is we're going to set your next 5-year goals with you. You are going to know the right things to set as goals. Many men, when they're setting goals, outside financial goals, they don't have any other goal. after business or career goals, they don't. So we're going to help, because for you to be fulfilled, it has to cover different aspects of your life. And then you also have to know, what is the purpose? What is purpose for you? People that work in purpose are fulfilled. Look at that word fulfillment. Is full and fill. They are the same thing. They are saying, like, you're full twice or you're filled twice. People that have fulfillment are happy people. In spite of the crisis around the world, there's something about them that is emotionally balanced, because they are working in purpose. It's different when you're working for money and when you're working for purpose. They're different things. When you're working in purpose, you get paid twice. You get paid money, but you also get paid with happiness and fulfillment. And most human beings will never experience that. When you get paid fulfillment, even if you don't get money, you live there happier than the person that even gets money. So you have to know how this works. We're going to deal with that, so that at the end of your life, you would have achieved what you should be achieving with your life as a whole, not just money. Because many men, all they have to show at the end of their life is a fat bank account. And that is a very small life. That is a very limited life. That is a very poor life. Like they say, some people are so poor, all they have. Friendships. Again, most men don't have, a lot of men don't have solid friends. And I don't just mean drinking buddies or some kind of things. You need people in your corner that are valuable. So part of what we'll do in the inner circle is to network elite men. Anybody that can join this kind of thing is the kind of man you want to be friends with. He's a driven person, he's a high achiever, he's ambitious. We'll connect you guys, and you'll find other men in your city, other men in your nation, other men around the world that you can bounce ideas off. There will be sessions that will be built around peer-to-peer mentoring, where People like you guys will solve issues together. You bring up issues and you give each other advice. You see that you have a pool and a network of wise counsel. It's part of what we're going to do in Inner Circle. So I've benefited so much from relationships, from friendships. I don't know any country I can go into that I won't have someone help me. I just got back from Doha. I mean, there's someone I just met randomly somewhere, but we connected, got to Doha, he arranged a tour, arranged car, arranged food. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's power in network. People don't know that. That really, really rich people know people. All right? Not just know things, know people. So, friendships. The next one is freedom. We're going to talk about freedom. Addiction will ruin any man. All right, whether it's drug addiction, alcohol abuse, whatever it is, we're going to talk about freedom. You must also live in freedom. So there'll be sessions built around that and managing freedom. Faithfulness. What is this about? This is about character. It's not just faithful in marriage, even though it includes that, but it's general character. Most of the things I hear online today, very few talk about character. Everybody's talking about how to achieve great things, how to be rich, how to be, married, but listen, our society will break down if we don't have men of character. There's no way you can be a solid man without having character. There's no way you can be a good father. There's no way you can be a good husband. There's no way you can be a good boss. You need character. So we're going to talk about character, about faithfulness as a character. Faithfulness in everything. Faithfulness to your friends, to God, to your family, to your organization. Integrity matters. So we're going to deal with that. And the last one, number 10, we're going to talk about future. That's your future. That's your legacy. It will cover, again, this whole thing's about your next 5 years, but it covers even beyond that. Future, even beyond that. To cover legacy, how you'll be remembered after now. Most men are focused on what they will leave for their children, but we'll help you also focus on what you will leave in your children. All right? It's not bad to leave something for your children, but it's better to leave something in your children. Because no matter what you leave for your children, it's what you leave in them that will determine what they do with what you leave for them. So we're going to talk about legacy. We have futurists, Kule you're coming. We have a lot of other people that will talk about the AI generation, that also talk about your legacy. All the things you are building, what will be of them in 20 years. Don't build in a way that once you die, everything you've built have disappeared. I've seen so many men spend their whole lives laboring, and the moment they die, their generation spend their whole life destroying what that first generation built. Is because they didn't pay attention to legacy. So we're going to talk about legacy. We're going to talk about life insurance, building a trust, anything that you need to do about your future so that your journey and time on this earth will be remembered even long after you have gone. You will live like Jesus. Jesus left here thousands of years ago, but where everybody's still talking about Jesus. So that's how to live. There's a way to live. So these are the 10 areas it is going to cover.
Wow. So why are we doing this?
Again, we're doing this because the more I spend time on this earth, I see a lot of my brothers, a lot of my men left behind. All right, and I'm troubled about that. A lot of men are left behind. Some are, in their 50s, they've not found their footing financially. They've not found their footing in terms of family life, maybe divorced or not married. Some have not found their footing. In terms of their purpose, they have an assignment from God, but they've done it. So, I know how it can be for a man. It's a lonely journey when you are a nobody as you are aging. Everybody just forgets about you. You are a non-entity. You're forgotten things. So, I want to, like we do in American Army, they don't leave anybody behind. So I want to go and take people on this journey. Let's work together. Let's strengthen each other. So that is the main burden in my heart for men. Because my work involves counseling women a lot, I realize that with the men those women have to contend with, nobody's going to win. We're all going to lose if we don't get the men standing. Because society is built on men. That's the truth. It is when I see ladies online naked or ladies bragging about sleeping around, you hardly see a man come out and say, I had 13 prostitutes. You hardly see it. But you will see a lady say, I slept with 13 men. You know why? she's craving a father figure. What? It's a man that dropped the ball. Either her father was not there, because that's what I think. This girl that is naked on a music video, where is her dad? Where are her brothers? Where is the husband? So somebody, a man basically, has dropped the ball. Society is built on the back of men. That's the truth. The stability of men is what helps every other thing. So this is part of our drive.
So why is faith one of the core things to be taught here?
Because everything rises and falls on faith. Our relationship with God is crucial. Your life, especially with good mentoring, good friendships, you can start to restructure your life and make something out of it. No matter how old you are or how far you've come, definitely you can. And that's the biggest thing you leave for us. You leave something behind when you're going. Because we're all going to leave this earth. What are you leaving behind for all of us when you're going? A lot of great men have left. Jesus, other great men. We are still engaging with them even though they are not here. How are we going to engage with you when you have left? Your whole time here is about your time outside of here. So I have what I'll talk about something we call FOE. FOE is FOE, your future, your old age, and eternity. So what are you leaving behind? How are we engaging with you when you have left? It's not just about your whole life here, it's about your life out of here. So how are you spending it? It's not free. There's something you're supposed to be doing with life here that will impact your life outside of here.
What are the common excuses people will give that it's a whole year, I don't think I can commit?
That's the thing. I still don't, like I've been saying all day, I still find it hard to believe that there are men that are passing up this opportunity. There are people that tell me, well, they don't have time. I say, no, you cannot have. If you don't have time, then you're already too busy to improve. Then you need this event.